Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to dig into a really provocative idea from the book Stolen Focus. What if your constant struggle to concentrate isn't actually your fault?
I mean, does it ever feel like your brain is just broken? Like you can't pay attention anymore? You are not alone. And we're constantly told it's a personal failing, right? That we just need to try harder. But what if that's not the real story? What if our attention hasn't just collapsed by accident? What if it's been stolen on purpose?
All right, let's kick things off with this weird paradox that pretty much defines modern life. We're living in a world that basically pours acid on our attention every single day. So why is it that we feel busier than ever, but we're getting less and less done?
Yeah, this is the story so many of us tell ourselves, isn't it? When you can't focus on a book, or on your work, or heck, even on a conversation with someone you love, the first person we blame is ourselves. But this whole narrative of personal failure, it completely ignores the massive forces in our environment that are systematically wrecking our ability to focus.
Okay, get this. Research from the University of Oregon shows that after just one single interruption, it takes an average of 23 minutes to get back to your original level of focus. Now seriously, ask yourself, when was the last time you had 23 uninterrupted minutes to do anything? For most of us, that's almost unimaginable.
And all this constant toggling back and forth, it actually has a name. It's called the switch cost effect. See, we think we're multitasking, but our brains can't actually do that. We're just rapidly switching. And every single time we switch, we pay a price. Our thinking gets slower, we become less creative, and we make a lot more mistakes. The data actually shows that this state makes your thinking as impaired as being drunk or high. But here's the thing, it's not just our screens, not by a long shot. While our phones are kind of the obvious villain here, the attack on our attention is coming from all sorts of directions you would probably never suspect, and many of these forces were at work long before the first iPhone even existed. So, the book actually identifies 12 different factors, but let's just zero in on 3 that might surprise you. First up, our food. All the ultra-processed junk we eat creates these wild energy spikes and crashes that make sustained focus pretty much impossible. Second, our actual environment. Pollutants in the air we breathe are literally causing brain inflammation. And maybe the most important one, the fact that kids don't just go outside and play anymore. That collapse of free play is stunting their ability to develop attention in the first place.
But this is where it gets really important, because our distraction, it's not some random accident. It's a business model, a hugely profitable one. It's basically a heist, and our attention is the thing being stolen.
Listen to this quote from Tristan Harris. This is a guy who saw the system from the inside at Google, and it just reframes the whole problem. This isn't a fair fight. It's not you versus your phone. It's you versus a trillion-dollar industry that has literally designed its products to hack your brain's weaknesses. So let this sink in. All those features that make apps so addictive, the infinite scroll, the constant notifications, the algorithms that feed you things to make you angry, they aren't bugs. They are the product. Your stolen focus is the raw material that fuels this entire economic engine.
This whole business model, it has the name, surveillance capitalism. And it's designed to do one thing. Watch everything you do online, build a kind of voodoo doll version of you that knows your triggers better than you know them yourself, and then use that knowledge to keep you hooked. The goal is to frack your attention, to drill deep into your mind and pull out your focus for profit.
And the business model itself is shockingly simple and devastating. Step 1, they track every click, every pause, every like. Step 2, their AI analyzes all that data to figure out what gets under your skin. Step 3, they manipulate you, engineering a personalized feed of outrage and drama that's designed to keep you scrolling. And finally, Step 4, they monetize it, selling your hijacked attention to whoever's willing to pay. So what's the actual cost of this? I mean, what are we really losing here? It's so much more than just wasted time. It's about losing access to the most valuable, creative, and meaningful state our minds can possibly achieve.
Psychologists have this amazing term for it, a flow state. You know what this feels like? It's when you're so deep into a project or a great conversation or making music that time just melts away. This is where we do our best work. It's where we solve our biggest problems and find real deep satisfaction. But here's the catch. Flow requires long, uninterrupted stretches of concentration, the very thing that our world now makes almost impossible to find.
So really, this is the choice we're facing. A life of constant fragmentation makes us smaller, it makes us shallower, it makes us angrier. It literally shrinks our human potential. But a life that makes space for flow, that makes us bigger, deeper, and allows us to actually become the best versions of ourselves.
Look, this is a huge systemic problem, and that means the solutions have to be systemic too. We are not going to fix this with a few productivity hacks or by doing a digital detox for a weekend. This requires a collective movement, a real fight, an attention rebellion. And this demands a fundamental psychological shift. We have to stop thinking of ourselves as individual users who just need to be more disciplined. We need to start seeing ourselves as citizens who have a right to our own minds, a right that is being violated on a massive scale every single day.
So what does this rebellion actually look like? Well, Hari lays out 3 massive structural changes. First, ban the entire business model of surveillance capitalism. Force these tech companies to find a way to make money that doesn't involve addicting us. Second, bring in a 4-day workweek, because being constantly exhausted makes us vulnerable to distraction. And third, we have to rebuild childhood around free play, so the next generation can grow up with the attention skills that we are rapidly losing.
When you really think about it, our ability to pay deep attention is our species' superpower. It's the one thing we need to solve every other major crisis we're facing, from fixing our democracies to tackling climate change. All of those challenges demand deep, sustained, collective focus. So the fight to liberate human attention, it might just be the most important struggle of our time.